Welcome into the Big Time Starting Five podcast presented by Town and Country Federal Credit Union. We are live, as you see behind me, from Standish, Maine. There is a quarterfinal matchup, two in fact, featuring the women and men from the St. Joseph's College of Maine. It's going to be an exciting night here. Brady King and I are here. I think trophy mode is expected to be in the house as well. It's going to be great. The St. Joseph's College women are the number 2 seed in this. They're tipping off at 5 p.m. They're going up against the University of St. Joseph's Blue Jays, who last year and the year before, they met in a conference championship game. So a little bit less stakes on the line this time, but we'll cover all that and the men's game that tips off at 7 p.m. They're going head-to-head with the Norwich Cadets. The Cadets have come down from Vermont and will try their luck. Last time these two teams met in the regular season, St. Joe's actually barely got away. They ended up winning in overtime, so it should be an interesting night here tonight with 2 games being played. But let's take a look around what's happening in Maine tonight, because outside of here, we wish that we could be everywhere in the state. But unfortunately, tonight we can't be. And of course, tonight there is a couple games that are taking place in Gorham. USM men are playing their game tonight too, so shout out to them. We wish we could be there, but we had to come here for our doubleheader tonight. But we do love you Husky fans. Let's talk a little bit, though, again about what's happening around the state. We're not going to be able to get there this Saturday, but what a weekend it was in the NAC. On the men's side, for the Umpy Owls, they were able to advance to their first NAC championship. They'll be taking on UMF. How they got there, they built a 56 lead, and then survived a miracle and one from Husson. They forced overtime, tied at 64-64, and scored the first 7 points. And now Umpy is headed straight to the NAC Championship. They're first, and they also exercised some demons beating those Husson Eagles. On the other side of things for UMF, what a performance for Zach McLaughlin. 40 points, a career high for him to push the Beavers into an NAC championship. They're looking for their first championship this Saturday since back in 2010 when they beat Castleton State. So it's been a little bit since the Beavers of Farmington have tasted a championship, and Umpy's looking for their first appearance. So Dan Kane and Umpy and Quinn Newton there at UMF are going to be a fun battle on that one. Let's take a look, though, at the women's side now, because as much as there's a couple teams going maybe for the first time in a while or a first, on the women's side, it's a usual suspect. The Maine Maritime Academy Mariners are taking on the UMF Beavers, and it's a battle of defenses, especially when you look at how those semifinal games went this weekend. Maine Maritime shot nearly 43% from 3. No surprise either, especially with a player like Evelyn Dagan, who she's the all-time three-point leader for the Mariners. She's the 1,000-point scorer. No surprise, 43% this weekend. They held their opponent to 25.8. Addison Forey, 19 points, 20 rebounds, 3 blocks. Haley Blanchard, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. They defend, they rebound, and they grind like hell. So that MMA team's a really tough one. They're going up against, though, quite the combo. Jessica Dow helped UMF over Husson 64-40, and they held the Husson Eagles to 22% from the field. So as you see the trend here, both these teams very defensive-minded heading into the women's NAC championship. Jessica Dow for UMF, 24 points. She had 6 steals. Jaden Pingree, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Defense versus defense, toughness versus toughness this weekend in that women's one, so it should be fun. Sorry we can't be up there. I mean, we love you guys in the NAC, so it's been fun to watch. One of those teams on each side for the men and women will be heading to an NCAA D3 tournament when they punch their ticket. A couple other conferences to watch around the state of Maine. The NESCAC, February 28th and March 1st. The men, we did have one team advance. Bowdoin fell short by 1 point, and Colby also fell short in their NESCAC quarterfinals. But the Bates men advanced. They beat Amherst, according to the Bates website, for the first time since the 90s. They're heading down to Wesleyan. They'll be playing Wesleyan in a game. They are the top seed in the NESCAC on the men's side. The other semifinal is Trinity and Tufts. But good luck to the Bates men this weekend. We hope you guys kick some ass down there. It's tough in the NESCAC, but if anybody can do it, it's a team with Barbara Kapui, Brady Coyne, Peter Cy Hodges, and Sean O'Leary. They're a very, very tough group, so we look forward to watching if Bates can get it done down at Wesleyan. On the women's side, No surprise, Megan Phelps and the Bowdoin Polar Bears have set the standard in the NESCAC the last 3 years. They are the number 1 seed. They host Williams College. Amherst is also coming up. They're playing Bates. So we could be on the verge of some history here this Sunday. I know it's not the first time these two teams could meet for a NESCAC championship, but the fact we could have a Bates-Bowdoin NESCAC final on Sunday is very exciting on March 1st because that one's going to be played in Brunswick if it takes place. Both teams, though, have to take care of business against their respective NESCAC sides. In the LEC, we mentioned it, the USM men, the number 4 seed, they host Eastern Connecticut tonight, 7 p.m. start. Watch for Thomas Whalen in that one, averaging 21 points, one of the better players in the LEC. Also, on the women's side, they play on Friday. They host the semifinal, 6 p.m. They're the number 1 seed, 23-2 ranked, number 25 to some polls in Division III. So really fun to watch. CNE as well. And before I get to the CNE, I should mention here in my notes, shout out to the USM men. They were picked 7th in the preseason poll. So to see them be able to be up here and grab a 4 seed, at least overachieve in the eyes of some in the Little East Conference, congrats to them. Mikey Coppersmith doing a really, really good job. One of the youngest coaches in college basketball. Over to the CNE, though, Conference of New England. UNE does have 2 teams playing. That will be the men. They're the 6th seed. They're heading to Suffolk today. The UNE women are heading to Hartford. They're both playing tonight. So good luck as well to the Nor'easters as they head down to CNE play. But let's get to the action tonight, because tonight it's all about the St. Joseph's Monks here on the Big Time Starting 5. You can follow all of us at Big Time Starting 5 on Instagram. Shout out to Brady King and Trophy. They are going to have content all night. Our Twitter as well will be following all of this, live updates, as well as the GNAC quarterfinals are right here in Standish tonight. Again, shout out to Corey and everybody here at St. Joe's for having us up. It's been really fun. We've already kind of been hanging out. The vibe is good, right? Both teams are already on the court warming up. We're going to try to get out to the court, get you guys a shot of a little bit of the court, but unfortunately, that music's bumping. They're getting focused. They're getting loud. So we decided to give you guys this amazing scenic view. Again, it's beautiful up here, and if you haven't been to the campus of St. Joe's, definitely check it out. But let's talk a little bit about this women's team. Number 2 in the GNAC, going up against the number 7 University of St. Joseph's Blue Jays. Here's where it gets spicy. If you missed this opener, it's going to be awesome. These two teams played each other both the last 2 GNAC conference finals. In 2024, it was the St. Joseph's women who won. In 2025, it was the Blue Jays. The rubber match isn't in a championship game tonight. It's in a quarterfinal. One of the last 2 title game again participants is going home tonight. 2 teams that have been the pinnacle of the GNAC for the last 2 years on the women's side. One will not be moving forward. It's a fun rivalry that's developed over the last 2 years. We're excited to see it. St. Joe's comes into this one on an 8-game winning streak. They are 9-2 here in Standish and ranked nationally top 20 in 3-pointers made. They love to shoot the ball. They're also balanced scoring. Elizabeth Staplefeld is someone to watch tonight. 14.5 points per game. Logan Brown as well. She has 79 3-pointers to her name. Top 5 nationally in Division III. Madison LaBelle, 11 rebounds per game. Watch her to hit the boards hard for the St. Joe's women tonight. And we'll see if they can advance. Again, the last time these two teams played was on February 21st. A 76-54 win for St. Joe's. Close at halftime, but the Monks blew it open. I think we got to throw the regular season stuff out the window, though, tonight. You got to come ready to play in the playoffs. We'll see if the Monks are ready. I think us here at Big Time Maine believe they are. Heading over to the men's tonight, though, they tip off at 7 p.m. from here in Standish. They're going up against Norwich. The Cadets are coming into town. A win here obviously advances them to the GNAC semifinal. The title game will be Sunday, which equals an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament where this men's team made a run to last year. Why this team's dangerous? I mean, do I have to state the obvious? 14-game winning streak, 26 straight GNAC wins, 21 straight home GNAC wins, top 25 nationally with 86 points per game, elite rebounding and ball movement with guys like Remy Jowani, John Paul Frazier, Wani Donato and company, even Davis Mann, who helped lead the Falmouth Navigators to a state championship last year, has been a rookie of the week almost every week here in the GNAC. He's averaging 14 points a game. So watch out for, though, Remy Jowani as well, who was last year's GNAC Player of the Year, 23 points per game. This team's unstoppable. And earlier in the season, there was a few hiccups, just like the women, but both these sides have gotten healthy and have pushed towards the final. Last time St. Joe's again met Norwich, it was an overtime win, 89-84 in Vermont. The Cadets forced overtime, but it was all about the Monks after. So we'll see how it goes tonight. Again, follow us on all of our platforms at Big Time Maine, at Big Time Starting 5. We are going to keep you guys covered all night tonight from Standish. Again, I'm Taylor Mannix for Brady King behind the camera and everybody else, Trophy Mode, Tom Bard, who makes this stuff possible for us to come and enjoy these beautiful scenes. Thank you. And again, thanks for enjoying the Starting 5 podcast. We're continuing to try new things here, so we appreciate you guys sticking it out for our live feed here from St. Joseph's College of Maine. The Monks take the floor soon. We'll be there to get you covered. Stay tuned for more on the Big Time Hoop Starting 5 podcast. We got plenty of content coming your way. We're back live here from Standish. We're getting you another live look-in from the beautiful scenes here in Standish. And again, 5 p.m. tip-off. The women are about to get underway. The warm-up music is still queued up, but they are about to tee off against what should be a great matchup with the Blue Jays. Let's not forget, this is a rematch of the last two GNAC championships in a quarterfinal. One of the two teams that was playing for a championship the last two seasons is going home tonight. The men tip off at 7 o'clock against the Cadets of Norwich, who they lost in overtime to the last time out. But a real quick shout out to the YSCC, Coach Richards and Coach Morong. They had us up. It felt like we were at home the way they treated us. Shout out to SMCC, 90-87 win over the University of Maine at Augusta Moose. They were down 16 in the second half before Chance Mercier scored 22 of his 27 points in the second half to help SMCC win its third game in 3 days and advance as the 4 seed to the national tournament in Buffalo. They do have their matchup. Unfortunately, I don't have it right in front of me, but they are heading up. I believe they got a 4 seed as well in that tournament. I'll double check that. We'll get you guys all caught up on that on our website when we post some of those previews coming up. But a big shout out to Ellis Messia, 18-12 in that game. He was incredible. Sam DeWitt, we interviewed him. You can check out interviews with him and Jace Bessie along with Chance Mercier up on the at Big Time Starting 5, at BT Starting 5 on the Instagram page for that. Big shout out to the women's side too. The 9th straight YSCC championship for Andrew Morong and the Central Maine Community College Mustangs. They are the epitome of sustainable success. What he's been able to accomplish at that program, it's a 2-year college and just really amazing. They forced 28 turnovers against UMA. You can check out the interview with Abby Corson and Andrew Morong up on our Instagram pages for that game. We also have some game highlights there as well, along with the men's side. So again, thank you to Andrew Morong, to Coach Richards, and everybody else at the YSCC. What an amazing weekend. If you haven't seen YSCC ball and you haven't been involved with it, I'm a former UMA Moose. No, you can confirm with Brady King, I did not light the world on fire, but I do got stats, and the YSCC is close to my heart, including the Moose, so it's tough to see him lose this weekend, but I know how awesome that basketball is, and so for those of you who haven't taken the time to go out to an SMCC, CMCC game, go do it. It's an incredible atmosphere, and we can't wait till next year to even cover it more in the regular season like we did this past weekend, but don't get too worried about it because we're going to cover more games tonight, including both these games here at St. Joe's. We're excited to cover 2 more tonight. It's quarterfinals. It's not a championship game, but the stakes are just as high as both of these St. Joseph's College Monks teams are looking to capture GNAC championships. Shout out to Brady King behind the scenes, Tom Bard, Trophy Mode, and I'm Taylor Mannix. Until next time, please follow all of our platforms. We have so much more college stuff coming your way, especially next year. So make sure you hit the follow button now so you don't miss out when we go full throttle.